The movie opens with a young boy stating that he cannot sleep. This is supposedly a common occurrence. He tries his best to sleep but is never able to do so properly. The boy's name is Ganta, and every morning he makes breakfast before school, because his dad works late and sleeps in the morning. Ganta comments that he only begins to feel sleepy when he leaves for school. He has no friends, no one understands how he feels, nor is there anyone he can speak to. Ganta sleeps at school, hiding in places where no one will bother him. Just then, a few girls who are busy cleaning windows ask him to help, which annoys him, and he walks away. Tao, a boy who is an acquaintance of Ganta, asks if he's been able to sleep last night, which Ganta denies. As Ganta is searching for a place to rest as well as for a stepladder, the girls ask him to fetch one and find that the observatory is unlocked. He is just about to fall asleep when he finds a girl sleeping in the room, whom he identifies as Isaki from his class. Isaki stares at him, saying nothing, and then runs away. However, she doesn't get far before realizing the door is locked. She questions Ganta, asking him if he shut the door, which he confirms. Isaki informs him that the door can only be opened from the outside, and that the two of them are now locked inside. Ganta suggests that Isaki use her phone to call someone to open the door, but she refuses and states that no one can find out she is there. This irritates Ganta, who asks why. And Isaki reveals she struggles to sleep, has to catch up on sleep at school, and doesn't want anyone to worry. Eventually, Ganta persuades Isaki to give him her smartphone because he can call the boy he ran into earlier, who is somewhat of an acquaintance. Isaki and Ganta speak about their sleeping issues, and she admits that she always thought of Ganta as rude and scary. She also reveals that she was the one who started the rumor of the observatory being haunted, so her naps wouldn't be disturbed. The two of them fall asleep together but are suddenly woken when Tao, the boy who is an acquaintance of Ganta, comes in to let them out. Isaki is walking home with her friends when one of them who caught Ganta napping states that she doesn't like him. Isaki is taken aback by her friend's statement. The next day, Ganta and Isaki bump into each other at the nurse's office. Ganta hurt his face when he got hit by a soccer ball, and Isaki was injured by a volleyball. The nurse immediately realizes that the two of them are sleep-deprived. Before she leaves, Isaki asks Ganta if he's coming to the observatory. Later that day, the two of them meet up at the observatory. Once there, Isaki declares that she's starting the fun nightclub, and that she is member 1 and Ganta is 2. In the evening, the two of them meet outside and go for a walk, talking about their sleeping problems and hiding from the police in the process. The next day at school, Isaki and Ganta are back in the observatory, but are caught coming out by Ms. Kurashiki, who is the school nurse and a teacher. Kurashiki allows them to keep visiting the observatory under the condition that the two of them form an astronomy club. On their day off, Ganta and Isaki have been instructed by Kurashiki to visit a person called Yui, who is a former student at their school and a member of the astronomy club. They arrive at the arcade that Yui manages. She is a socially awkward individual and informs the two high schoolers that all they have to do is be in the observatory. Yui also gives them tips on astrophotography. The next day, Ganta and Isaki meet on a rooftop, where Ganta shares all he has learned about photography, and the two of them take their first pictures of the night sky. As they're walking back, Ganta explains how his father gave him a camera, even though he didn't want it. The next day, Ganta, Isaki, and Kurashiki officially created the school astronomy club. Kurashiki asks the two if they have any ideas for a first event for the club, to which Ganta suggests they hold a viewing event on the rooftop at night, though it will be hard to get others to join them. Ganta is made the club president, and over the next few days, the two of them spend time recruiting people at school. After a while, the two of them recruit Isaki's friends, Kanami, Motoko, and Mina, as well as Ganta's friend Tao. They advertise the night event, and Mina designs the poster with a picture of Ganta and Isaki dancing with one another. Isaki is walking home with her friends one day, and Mina informs them about an old folktale that if one crosses a nearby bridge with the person they love, that love will be reciprocated. This story has Isaki interested, but her thoughts are interrupted when she sees Ganta walking with Tao. However, the day of the event arrives, and it's not only cloudy, but the rain is pouring down with no sign of stopping. Kurashiki informs Ganta that they have no choice but to cancel, which is devastating for him. He apologizes to the rest of the club, feeling responsible, and runs away. Isaki runs after Ganta, catching up to him at a bus station. He voices his frustrations about how he feels that anything he's involved in never works out, and Isaki states that she feels the same. Isaki hugs Ganta, revealing to him that she's scared to sleep at night because she had heart surgery due to a condition and now has half a heart. She worries that one day her heart may stop working and she may never wake up again. Ganta responds by assuring her that she can sleep soundly. as he'll be by her side as she sleeps. That night before bed, the two of them spend the night speaking to each other over the phone. They talk about their childhood experiences in an effort to help each other sleep, though they find comfort in the fact that they're spending time together. The next time they meet with Yui, they ask for advice on keeping their new club alive. Yui advises them that the only course of action now would be to allow the club to be shut down, or win a photo contest as she did. Ganta realizes that this may be difficult, as when it comes to photography, the two of them are still novices. However, Isaki is up for the challenge. Kurashiki and Isaki visit Ganta's home to ask permission from his father for a summer camp for the astronomy club. Ganta's father has no problem giving her permission, but is surprised when Kurashiki asks if he's aware of his son's insomnia. His father reveals that Ganta's mother disappeared while he was asleep one night, and this may be the root of his insomnia. He voices his concerns that the camp may be too difficult for his son, though Kurashiki assures him that he'll be fine. Next, the three of them visit Isaki's home to ask her mother's permission. She agrees to allow Isaki to attend the camp as long as her older sister, Haya, is also present. Sometime after, Ganta visits Yui to have her review his photos. Yui is impressed, though she advises that Ganta thinks with his heart and does not hesitate when the time arrives to take a picture. Isaki arrives, and she and Ganta circle destinations on a map that they really want to visit while at camp. Isaki and Ganta finally arrive at their destination with Haya. During the afternoon, the trio share a meal, and while Isaki is napping, Ganta goes to a nearby shrine to search for a place to take pictures. Haya accompanies him, questions his relationship with his sister, and asks him not to take pity on her because of her heart condition. However, Ganta denies taking pity on her, and suddenly Isaki is running up the stairs of the shrine to join them. The next day, Haya and Isaki are arguing because the elder sister is off to see her boyfriend. Isaki informs Ganta that Haya has come along as a cover to vacation with her boyfriend, which Haya confirms. Before she leaves, Haya asks Ganta to not give her special treatment because she has a condition, as that is what Isaki wants. That night, Ganta spends his time taking pictures of the night sky, as well as Isaki having fun. Another day passes, and Isaki bursts into the room, informing Ganta that her parents have discovered that Haya has abandoned them to see her boyfriend and are on the way to pick them up. Isaki is deeply upset and voices her disapproval of potentially being dragged home. Ganta asks her if she'll come with him, and the two of them leave the guest home they were staying in and leave a note for Isaki's parents. The two take a bus to Milwaukee, their original destination for taking pictures. They eventually arrive in Milwaukee, finding a monument they were interested in seeing. Just then, an old man approaches them, asking them what they're up to. He explains he is the manager of a nearby museum and is here to do some research of his own. He speaks to the young students, explaining that he believes that human beings leave their imprint on everything they touch, even other people. That evening, the two of them set up camp in a nearby field and got ready to take pictures of the night sky. As Isaki is skipping towards the monument, Ganta grabs her by the hand and confesses his love. The two of them hold hands, looking at each other. Isaki smiles, asking Ganta to take her picture so she can remember the happiest moment of her life, which he does. They spend the night gazing at the stars and taking pictures. Isaki turns to Ganta and thanks him for bringing her there. Ganta and Isaki arrive back at the guest house in the morning, and Isaki suddenly feels weak. Her mother screams her name, running towards her and helping her away, while Isaki's father asks Ganta if he knows about her condition and then walks away, leaving Ganta on his own. Some time passes, and Ganta, his father, and Kurashiki are at Isaki's home to apologize to her parents. Isaki's mother admits that she has lost trust in Ganta, and Ganta's father can't help but bow his head and apologize. Ganta admits that he is at fault, taking full responsibility. Isaki's father informs them that his daughter will likely have to drop out of the astronomy club, as she may have to be hospitalized soon. The next day at school, Ganta turns to see Isaki's empty desk. He begrudgingly makes his way to the observatory after class and gets his hopes up when someone enters after him, only to realize it's Yui. She has come to congratulate Ganta, as his photograph has won in the contest she entered it in, which means they'll now get to keep the astronomy club. However, this is bittersweet for Ganta, as the person he started this club with is no longer present. Ganta rushes home, eager to tell his father his good news. His father's response is underwhelming. He simply tells Ganta he's a good child. This frustrates Ganta, who lashes out, claiming he isn't as good as his father believes. His outburst gives his father pause. He admits to being distant since Ganta's mother disappeared and apologizes for his neglect. Ganta accepts the apology and thanks his dad for the Christmas camera that is helping him grow closer to Isaki. Meanwhile, Isaki has gone to see the mother of a boy who she got to know while in the hospital. She has been frequently visiting the boy's mother as the boy has passed, and the two of them have struck up a friendship since. The boy's mother thanks Isaki for continuing to come over. However, Isaki breaks down in tears and embraces her. At school, Ganta holds an astronomy club meeting, announcing to the rest of the members that Isaki may no longer be part of the club and that he is in love with her. However, he expresses his desire to continue the club with the current members and hold another sky viewing event for Isaki. All members, especially Isaki's 3 friends, are on board with the idea. That night, the members of the astronomy club make their way to the agreed meeting place. However, Ganta takes a detour and makes his way to Isaki's home. Once there, he is greeted by her mother, who isn't pleased to see him, informing him that her daughter needs to rest. Isaki, who is lying down in her bed, hears the commotion and runs to the window. Ganta immediately turns his attention and informs Isaki that he managed to win the competition, and she beams with pride. Her mother soon changes her expression, seeing how happy Ganta makes her daughter, and leaves the two of them alone. Isaki then confesses her love to Ganta, which renders him speechless for a moment. He then informs her about the sky viewing event he is holding and asks if she'll join them, and she states that she won't miss it, as the two of them are members 1 and 2 of the astronomy club.